everyone, this is Fantasy Ask and welcome back to Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had a very unexpected case of one-sided love from Icicle Spec for his mate Shining Stripe after they went on a surprise patrol together in events, not in the actual patrols, but That's a thing. And then we had a really good matchmaking session between our current breeding couple with Flailstorm and Magpie. So I'm curious to see what else these cats are going to get up to. So without further ado, let us go straight to the leader's den. Actually, before we get to the leader's den, Vonel, yet again, made a very interesting comment about Icicle Spec that I keep forgetting. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so the comment said for Icicle Spec when he was younger, we saw that he was loved by basically everyone and he was friends with all the political cats. Now that he is one himself, I think he finds it quite natural to continue to expand his love, which his mate isn't happy about. So this was, I think a couple episodes back when Icicle Spec obviously started giving attention to Quill Runner, which I was very surprised by. But this explanation makes a lot of sense, and yes, I tend to forget that Icicle Spec had this thing where he was only friends with the cats in the King's Court, and now he is a cat in the King's Court. And I think that him getting along well with all the other cats, being charismatic in a way, is probably why he's such a flirty cat. But obviously Shining Stripe is not happy with that and was not expecting that, and it has resulted in the deterioration of their relationship. Now Icicle Spec has fallen in love, but it might be like too little too late, you know? So anyways, I'm curious to see how all of that and more is going to go. So jumping to the leader's den, let's go ahead and roll the dice to see how Fernstar and Flailstorm are going to handle the next gathering. I got a 9. Is that a 9? Yes, that's a 9 on the D10, which is down clan, and we have an 8 on the D8, which is praise. So let's go ahead and skip a moon and see what happens. No birth and death notices. King Flailstorm, not King Flailstorm, my goodness. The right hand, Flailstorm, takes his chance at the gathering to fawn over Down Clan's leader for everything from their apprentices' manners to their medicine cat's intelligence. Down Clan relations have improved. King Fernstar wakes one day after moons of numbness and feels as though the world is less dull. So he has finally finished mourning for his daughter and has decided to resume his duties as king. Bepelt will always love Shade Fleck, but has decided to move on, and Ink Feather has gotten a white cough. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I think we've had a cat die in the past. Was it Buttercup Fin, or was it one of the older cats? I think it was, I'm not actually sure, but one of the cats passed away from white cough. Oh my goodness, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. Can we... Okay, so Ink Feather's down, obviously from white cough. So, darn it, no matchmaking today. No matchmaking for us. But if we view the dead, who was it that died from? I feel like someone died from white cough. Wait, was it? Hold on a second. Buttercup Fin, there we go. She died of white cough. So I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried about Ink Feather, because that is deadly. Okay, going to the medicine cat den. King Fernstar was given time as treatment for grief-stricken, and then he recovered from that. Frostfade was given Poppy as treatment for bee sting. I have not had a cat die from bee sting, but apparently this is telling me it is dangerous. Icicle Spec gathered wild garlic this moon. Let's go to relationships and see what's happening on this front. Icicle Spec surprises King Fernstar with something nice. King Fernstar gets a bunch of cats out for morning stretches, they don't like it. King Fernstar and Shining Stripe repair some nests together. Icicle Spec flicked some sand over Scorchmoss's fresh kill while she was eating. Scorchmoss appreciates Bepelt's helpful attitude. Icicle Spec can't imagine his life if he never met King Fernstar. Icicle Speck hisses at Frostfade over something small. Flailstorm and Bearpelt volunteer to go on an extra border patrol together. Ghostpaw says that Flailstorm smells weird. Shining Stripe overhears Frostfade dispelling a false rumor about a clanmate. Shining Stripe learns that Ghostpaw is scared of Thunder too. Flarefreckle and Ghostpaw, so mentor and apprentice, trip over the same twig in camp. Flarefreckle can hear the truth in Ghostpaw's words when he talks about protecting others. They have a really good bond going on. I think they might have actually the strongest bond between all the mentors and apprentices. Bearpelt heard a story about something kind Quillrunner did. That's good. Ghostpaw respects Bearpelt's opinion despite disagreeing with it. Bearpelt has moved on from Shadefleck. Magpie realizes that she misunderstood something Foxpaw said. Inkfeather thinks Flarefreckle was nice to her today. Foxpaw's good morning to Inkfeather meant a lot to her, so some mother-son bonding happening, especially because she's feeling sick. And Flarefreckle probably came in, very kind of her, to check in on Inkfeather because Inkfeather's sick as well. Quillrunner is prancing around in front of Magpie. Wait, what? Quillrunner. Magpie is matched. She's matched with the king's right hand. I don't think you want to mess with that, Quillrunner. You've already been inappropriately flirting with your former mentor's mate, Icicle Speck. Granted, you weren't the one to initiate it, Icicle Speck initiated it, but still, it gave you the fields. I don't think you need to have the fields for Magpie though. That's just not going to work out. And I hope you don't become a problem in that relationship either. Frostfade acknowledges King Fernstar with a twitch of his whiskers. Flarefreckle was supposed to be showing Foxpaw a cool battle move, but messed up so badly it made Foxpaw cringe. Oh no. I think the mentors probably did an exchange again, but it didn't work out. Ghostpaw and Inkfeather share their prey with one another every day. That is so cute because this is Inkfeather's favorite son, and he's spending time with his mother and sharing prey with her because she's sick, and I love their bond. Ghostpaw, interestingly enough, the daring cat, I feel like is the one who is making really good connections with like his mother, making good connections with his mentor. But it feels like also Flarefreckle is the type of cat that is able to connect with other youngsters easily. She did that with Houndkit, and then she adapted really well with Ghostpaw and is now doing that with Ghostpaw, so that's kind of fascinating. It's interesting because obviously King Fernstar assigned Flarefreckle to the one apprentice that she didn't have any signs with, I think as a way to like clip her wings or, stop her from influencing his children. And Vornell also made this point about how the king, hold on, was it in that same comment? It was. So the other part of the comment said, I think King Fernstar absolutely chose on purpose to give Flarefreckle the only apprentice she doesn't have a connection with. And this is an even crueler strategy because she can't complain since she was given an apprentice and her two sons were as well, which is a sign of trust from the king. But in this case, it was just to make sure she no longer has the time to influence Houndpaw. So I find it interesting that despite that, she has managed to basically power on and create a connection with Ghostpaw when she didn't have one in the beginning. Very fascinating. But okay, that's all we have for events. Let me cut the recording here and continue with the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. So first up we have loyalties, where there has actually been a little bit of a change. So now among Fernstar's loyalists we have a Magpie and Quillrunner. So yeah, these two, it seems as though Magpie needed a moon or so to kind of get her bearings, and I mean, she had that positive interaction with Fernstar where, she thought there was a place she could give a little bit of advice to him, but I think she was a bit hesitant about whether or not Fernstar, who seems a bit overbearing, would accept her advice, but he kind of took it on really well, and that was a good sign for Magpie, and that Fernstar is a good leader. who's willing to listen to other cats who might have, words of wisdom and such, or if they have a skill set he doesn't, and they're able to give him some feedback, he is not petty-minded enough to ignore that, or arrogant enough to ignore that. So she has decided to become a loyalist. And Quill Runner. Now I think two things are happening over here. For Quill Runner, I feel like while King Fernstar was grieving, Quill Runner obviously was carrying a lot of guilt for essentially having his daughter killed under Quill Runner's watch. And Quill Runner was Houndpaw's mentor. If anything, he should have defended and protected her life, which, to be fair, it's not as though he ran away. They did try and fight, it's just that the battle didn't go the way they wanted and Houndpaw was killed, right? So they did try to stand their ground, and only when she died, they had to kind of try and escape because they realized they were being overpowered. So Quill Runner, I think, has been carrying this guilt. Now that Fernstar has come out of mourning, Quill Runner, in a way, I think is trying to make up for that death by giving his loyalty to Fernstar. It's like a way of saying, I'm sorry. It's an apology of sorts. The other thing, which I think is happening, is that Quill Runner is very happy with Fernstar right now because Fernstar has brought Magpie into the grotto. His elevated Magpie from the status of being a servant into a noble, and Quill Runner finds himself very intrigued by Magpie, right? As a cat that hasn't really grown up with other females, and was mentoring the only other eligible female that the clan had, he is very intrigued by Magpie. And he finds her to be a very beautiful cat, which is why he was probably prancing around in front of her. So yeah, I think that's what's going on with the loyalties over here. And I swear, these two brothers, Quill Runner and Frostfade, Quill Runner, he's the loyal cat, right? But I feel like he's the one causing all this trouble with romance. Frostfade is the daring cat, but he's the one that seems to be in control. So I don't really know what's going on with these two. Now let's go through really quickly the relationship panels, where I did notice something between two of the cats. Nothing with King Fernstar of note. Nothing with Flailstorm of note. Icicle Speck, nothing over here. Ink Feather, everything seems pretty normal. Bear Pelt, not too much of a change on his front. Shining Stripe, not too much of a change for him as well. Flare Freckle, everything seems to be fairly normal for her. Magpie. This is where I noted a change, because Magpie, guys, is starting to have some romantic feelings, or I don't know if I'd call it that. She has, a 1.5 romance bars with Quill Runner. I think what's happening here is that Quill Runner was prancing around in front of Magpie, someone that Magpie maybe wasn't that well acquainted with, but she kind of found him very intriguing and fascinating, and she is paying attention to him now. I think that's what it is. Things are still, nothing's changed with her and Flailstorm, and they don't have a matchmaker this moon either, but from the previous few sessions, things are going really well with Flailstorm, but Quill Runner's kind of come along, and he's being intriguing and a bit different and odd, and she finds him intriguing, because she's a loyal cat, and he's a loyal cat as well, I'm just realizing. Yeah, so I am now officially worried. Quill Runner, can you stay away from her? Because if she falls in love with you, what the hell is Flailstorm gonna do? Please, we don't have time for this. I don't encourage this. Quill Runner, I don't. I realize she's a beautiful cat. She's got blue eyes just like you. She's loyal. I know. But can we find someone else, please? Granted, you don't have a lot of options, but can we find someone else? And then Quill Runner was the other cat I noticed a change with, obviously with Magpie. He has 1.5 romance bars with her as well, because like I said, he finds her very, very pretty, and she's like a dainty sort of cat, and she's the first female not the first female to come into the clan. We had Ink Feather as well, but she's the first female to come into the clan since he's become an adult, right? A young adult. So he's fascinated by her. He wants to know more. Frostfade, he is a good boy as usual, unlike his brother, not causing trouble. I mean, he's not the daring one. Sorry, he's the adventurous one. I'm remembering his apprentice trait. But yeah. So then we have Foxpaw over here, his pages, Ghostpaw, his pages, Scorchmoss. I didn't notice anything too drastic with her either. I wonder how Scorchmoss feels. I mean, she is oblivious. We went through this beforehand when Flailstorm chose Buttercupfin, but you know, she's been just devoted to Flailstorm, her second love, this whole time, been in love with him this whole time. And Buttercupfin died. I don't know if Scorchmoss felt whether she ever had a chance. There was a time when they were getting closer a little bit, but I don't think Scorchmoss would have held out too much hope. Like if Flailstorms pursued something and ended it once, then he probably is not going to be interested again, which is unfortunate. And then, I don't know, it must have been, but I feel like at this point, I was going to say it must have been a hit for the king to suddenly announce that Flailstorm is going to have a match with this much younger, you know, very beautiful cat, a she-cat, but I feel like Scorchmoss at this point is wise enough that she doesn't have unrealistic expectations. So that's kind of intriguing. Yeah. Okay, well that's all we have for the relationship panels. Let me go ahead and see what everyone is doing for the day. King Fernstar helps out around camp in between his duties. Flailstorm is exhausted after a patrol. Icicle Speck is offering to help clanmates with their duties. Inkfeather is always ready to take on a threat to protect the clan. Honey, don't even worry about that. You know what? I have a feeling that every time Inkfeather gets sick, she gets worried about what King Fernstar is going to say to her. And she feels like she has to kind of put more effort into proving how loyal she is to the clan, which is unfair. But I think this stems from the fact that when she got that food poisoning, after she recovered from birthing her litter, and then King Fernstar was really hard on her about how she's not a good example for other warriors. So I think Inkfeather, that plus the love she has for him, but not getting it reciprocated, makes it so that she's always wanting to please him, and she gets a bit worried about what he's going to think about whenever she gets sick. Which, so unfair. So unfair. Bearpelt cleans the clearing of fallen leaves. Shining Stripe is dozing off. Flare Freckle is chasing her own tail, making others laugh. Magpie wonders if it's too late to become a matchmaker. So Magpie, she's already thinking about entering politics, but honey, you have a long way to go before you get to that particular role. So basically, she's interested in entering the King's Court. Fascinating. Colorana recently reported the scent of rogues in the territory. Oh no. I definitely see Colorana being pretty sharp when it comes to rogues, given that his apprentice was killed in a rogue ambush. So he would definitely alert the clan members, the royals in the grotto, that they have to be extra careful when going out. Frostfade cleans the clearing of fallen leaves. So Frostfade and Bearpelt, look at them, former mentor and apprentice. They are actually cleaning the clearing of leaves, hanging out together, which is really cute. Foxpaw sneaks out of camp. That is not good. Ghostpaw saw a two-legged kit playing with a dog. Scorchmoss tells a long, long story that no cat is interested in. Oh, Scorchmoss. Okay, and now we should probably check up on the rankings for the apprentices. And Foxpaw is still ahead of his brother, so he's got 31 experience. Oh wait, Ghostpaw is 31. Guys, they're tied! Oh my goodness, they're tied. So the patrols might influence who gets a leg up on the other. I'm proud of Ghostpaw. He's actually been working very hard to catch up to Foxpaw, and he has, despite the fact that they had a huge gap. So things are unpredictable. My goodness. I think I said before that Frostfade and Foxpaw feel like they'd have the advantage, but I don't know. Flare Freckle has more experience, and maybe that is finally coming through. Yeah. Okay. Well, with that said and done, guys, I am going to cut the recording here, and we'll continue with patrols. Okay, time for us to continue with patrols. We currently have 102.6 prey. We need 32.5. And oh my goodness, we have a lot of cats. We have a lot of cats. Okay, our royal physician is going to go out first. So let's So I suppose it's the same amount of cats we had in the last episode, right? Or was it the episode before? I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that we have a lot of cats. It was the same amount of cats as the episode where Houndkit unfortunately died, or like Houndpaw died. Okay, Royal Physician, let's send him out first of all. Icicle Speck is always amused by the plantain's enduring cheerfulness in the face of being trodden on, and it's nice that the plants grow with such enthusiasm right to the end of leaf fall. Proceed. Plantain isn't one of the plants that turns red and dies off in leaf bare. Its leaves are vibrantly green in Icicle Speck's mouth as he carries them home through a territory growing less and less green as leaf fall wears on. So plantain was gathered, and now we're going to have our patrols. So let's see what these guys get up to, what our mentors decide. And I think both mentors are currently present. Okay, our patrol of 6 is going to be... Okay, this is intriguing. This is intriguing because Frostfade has decided once more that he wants Foxpaw to get experience in a different patrol away from him and then come back and report to him afterwards probably. However, Flare Freckle, she's choosing to stick right by her apprentice. Her method is a bit different, and this is interesting because right now both apprentices are tied for the title of Prince, and at least in this moon, these patrols might determine who manages to get a leg up on the other one. Foxpaw might have a bit of an advantage because he's in a smaller patrol and typically they get more experience, but we'll go ahead and see. And then we have, so we have Frostfade and Flare Freckle who are both jointly going to be supervising Ghostpaw. I mean, obviously Flare Freckle is with Ghostpaw, but she's probably also getting a little bit of help in from her son Frostfade and advice for Ghostpaw. And then we have Shining Stripe, Flailstorm, and Bearpelt. So let's see what they get up to. I also love it when Shining Stripe and Bearpelt, like the two brothers, I feel like a lot of times end up on the same patrol as each other, and that makes me so happy. Okay, let's have a look. Flailstorm looks down at the group they have to try and teach, feeling doubtful. Camp maintenance isn't a glamorous topic, especially in the eyes of younger cats. Proceed. When the topic is clawing the rump of an enemy warrior, anyone can get a young hothead's attention, but catching and holding it when the lesson is about gathering materials to reinforce camp, that takes a real skill, though Flailstorm doesn't get acknowledged for it often. Okay, so a bit of a peaceful lesson over here, but still a lesson. And then we have Foxpaw, Quill Runner, Magpie, and King Fernstar going out, so let's see what they get up to. King Fernstar suggests this might be a good chance for the cast to practice teamwork, particularly with Foxpaw. Obviously, he's wanting to give his favorite son an advantage. Proceed. Foxpaw screws up the teamwork exercise, making a decision that betrays his lack of experience. And while King Fernstar smooths everything over between everyone, the exercise is concluded early. So he didn't manage to take advantage of that too much. But I'm very curious to see if that has changed anything between the brothers. No. Foxpaw has 35. Ghostpaw has 32! Yeah, even though he screwed up, he kind of had the advantage because he had more attention on him from the others. And I think King Fernstar's choice to do that training session with Foxpaw, yeah, it really helped to bump him up. Damn, I'm so sorry, Ghostpaw. I mean, your mentor was trying. You had 2 mentors helping you out. But okay, they're getting a little bit closer, moon by moon, to becoming warriors, guys. Okay, and it is leaf full now. That's right, the forest outside, it looks like it is on fire once more. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.